Okay then, Shrewsbury Castle in under 1 minute. We can do this. On your marks, get set, go. Shrewsbury Castle dates back to the late 11th century. Built just after the Norman Conquest, originally as a wooden fort, before being built in local red sandstone, it was commissioned by Roger de Montgomery, a close ally of William the Conqueror, to control the Welsh border. For centuries, it was a key military stronghold during conflicts between England and Wales, and later played a role in the English Civil War, when it was captured by parliamentary forces in 1645, effectively ending its time as a frontline fortress. After that, the castle shifted away from warfare and became a private residence before later being repurposed as a military base for the Shropshire Regiment. In the 18th century, famed Shropshire engineer Thomas Telford was involved in building Laura's Tower, named after the daughter of the castle's owner. It adds a very non-medieval flourish to the site. Today, the castle is the home to the Soldiers of Shropshire Museum, telling the stories of local men and women who served around the world. Perched above the River Severn, this wasn't just pretty, it was tactical. Done. We did it. Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. Today, we are at Shrewsbury Castle, or should I say, the Soldiers of Shropshire Museum, just tucked away inside the castle there. If you've not been there before, please go and visit it. Those guys absolutely need the footfall. They need people to be there just to justify them being there. It's a brilliant place. They've got some amazing things to look at. And they're looking for outside the box sort of ways of thinking and keep bringing people in. And one of those things is they're doing their own version of the Traitors, which is, of course, one of the biggest TV shows in the world right now. Everybody's talking about the Traitors. But before we get into this episode, just to let you guys know, there are no Traitors spoilers whatsoever in this episode. So you can listen to this episode without having any spoilers, because it doesn't matter if you're listening and watching season 1 right at the beginning, or the celebrity one, or the most recent series, because they're all on the iPlayer. There's nothing worse than having it spoiled. Local newspaper ruined it for me this season. They put the winners right there. Bam! Picture. It's like a day after it aired, and I was at work, so I had to. Anyway, so yeah, there's nothing worse than spoilers, and this is a cool episode for you. I've had a few comments about the intro music, which is, of course, really cool. I think I may have mentioned this in the intro. It's Talk by Ease the Artist. I was looking for something new, something fresh. I used that on a podcast a couple of years ago, but only for 2 or 3 episodes. And I was like, man, this would be perfect for the biscuit. And I was thinking, why can't I just use it? So I asked Ease if I could use it, and he said yes. So that's what the intro music is. I've had a few questions about what is this music. Please support local musicians in Shropshire. You can listen to them as easy as you can listen to the bigger stars out there with Spotify and YouTube music. And there are some great musicians in this county, so cool. Anyway, without further ado, I've got to get on with it, because these intros are just way too long, man. I'm just ramble. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Traitors coming to you from the Soldiers of Shropshire Museum, based at Shrewsbury Castle. I'll catch you guys at the end. Enjoy. Let's go. I said I took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrong stuff, but baby, you are the change now. Let them talk, let them talk, let them talk. Took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Today we're coming from one of my favourite places to record, and that is the Mayor's Parlour at the Shrewsbury Castle. I'm welcoming back my friend Richard Gough back to the show. Hello.
Thank you very much. Hello.
But primary today, my guest today is going to be Nick Trevor, who is planning a very special event here in Shrewsbury. We'll get to Nick in a second and to the event. But I just wanted, before we start this, give a special thanks to Claire Harvey, who's helped put this together. She messaged me. She's like, "Oh, Alex, there's this amazing thing happening in Shrewsbury." I was like, "Thank you for this information. Let's make something cool out of it." So she's absolutely to thank for this. And Nick, thank you so much for
my pleasure.
Both of you for opening. You've opened up the castle just for me today, so thank you very much.
No problem. No problem at all.
Just get into that mic a little bit closer. That's it. There you go. So we're at the castle today. Prime place to use for an event, right? It's something that's very striking, I imagine. Yeah.
Well, it's sort of that's where the idea came from, really. If you look at the museum itself, what better environment or better place to hold an event such as the one we're putting on?
Yes, really good. And I just want to, there'll be lots of mentions about the Traitors as a theme for this podcast, but I just want to let you listeners know there are no spoilers to Traitors at all for this podcast. We will not do that to you, so you can listen to this safely. Don't worry about it. But yes, the event that you are planning is a Shrewsbury Traitors evening. Is that correct?
It is. It's very similar to that, really. What we're looking to do is create a World War II environment, and we're going to use the environment, and we're going to have sort of special agents, we're going to have secret agents, we're going to have fifth columnists, and our guests will come in and they will be selected to play one of those roles, as well as part of the Richard is going to play the Colonel, which is going to be overseen.
Very fitting, Richard.
You say that. I've got to find a uniform to fit me. To play the part, and it has been commented that my beard probably wouldn't be in keeping, but
yeah, to give you a nice swizzly moustache.
Yeah, and I work on my RP, my very, very, very proper.
We have a very, very nice evening tonight,
rather than my Essex twang. Yeah.
And the proceeds of this will go towards the museum itself, right?
I think that's a key part of it. We want people to experience the museum, our collections, the environment in many different ways. And if there's a way that we can boost our funds from this, that's brilliant for us. Really, really good for us. My priority has always been get people in, get them seeing this stuff that we've got, getting them leaving with lots of questions and really enthused. And we've always struggled to monetize that. The Shropshire Council, our landlords, take the ticket money. So we do, as a charity, we do struggle to make ends meet. So having an event where we can line up our incredible collections, the museum and the castle itself, with an event people enjoy and get engaged with stuff, and turn a coin as well. I mean, that's hitting everything for us. That really is. So yeah, fundraising and fun.
Whose idea was this?
Well, it was a combination between myself and a lady called Helena, who's very bright. So I sort of just ride on the coattails of that, really, Alex.
Well done, Helena. It's dedicated to you, this podcast. And of course, the Traitors is it's one of the most talked about TV shows. I mean, across the world. I mean, we found the Traitors after 2 seasons in the UK had gone. And we were like, oh, they were good. And then we went onto the iPlayer, and then we found the American versions, the Australian versions, the celebrity versions. There's Traitors in almost every single country in the world, right? It's just massive.
And now we've got the Shrewsbury version.
And now we're going to have the Shrewsbury version. How do you select people to play this game? Because I'm guessing lots of people are going to be interested. You're going to get lots of people try and buy tickets, but I guess there's only are you going to do a number of nights, just one night? I mean, how's it? It's going to be very hard to select the right people to take part, right?
Well, we're starting off with the initial 50 guests.
Yeah.
They can find the tickets on Ticketmaster, or they can get them off the museum website. And once we got the 50, we definitely think there's legs in this to do it again. But we want to make the first event really special, really fantastic, and make it the best night that people have had in this year.
Yeah, I agree. And these events, by the way, let's talk about my time at the prison. We were just talking about this earlier. An immersive experience like something like this. At the present, it requires something off the people that buy the ticket too. It's not just the event and the actors and the camaraderie of the event and all that kind of immersiveness from the organisers. You've got to go in there and want to enjoy it as well. If you go in as a skeptic and you're like, oh, what's that, and you're not going to have a great night. But if you go in there with the purpose of actually creating a character for yourself, getting the most out of it, and really enjoying yourself, giving yourself that opportunity, you'll enjoy it a bit more. Yeah, that's my advice.
It's all about participation as well. We're looking for everybody to get involved, whether you're selected to be one of Richard's staff, or an enemy agent, or a fifth columnist, and to work out who those are amongst your group is a key part of this. And all the games we've got and the sort of missions, whether it be code breaking, that's really just creating the environment for people to have a conversation and work out who's on my side and who's not on my side.
Yeah.
I think it helps as well if you encourage everyone to dress up. I mean, 40s gear it's actually very popular. It's quite easy to achieve, whether you're in military costume or not. I think that buy-in and that commitment comes from imagining what you're going to be like dressed as a spy or a chiv or whatever else.
Yeah, I sit at home and I think, how would I play the Traitors? I always think, how would I do it? I know exactly how I would do it. I'd sit on the fence and probably just work out who could speak to who and wasn't, and probably ultimately just mess it up very early on.
Are you already starting to play the game?
Yeah, I'm already starting to play the game. How would you guys play the game of Traitors then? What would your tactic be, Richard?
I'd probably stay quiet for a long time, which would probably raise a huge suspicion about me. But I used to think I was a really good judge of character. I'm probably way off the mark there, so I'd probably be out very, very early on.
I think I'd be out very early on as well. I'm an open and honest character, and I'd probably go too hard at the ball for one of trying to find out who the others were. But that's all part of the fun, isn't it? I mean, you can bring something totally different that's not your normal character to this event, and you can escape from your normal lives for an evening inside Shrewsbury Castle in the dark, playing Traitors or a version of Traitors. What better evening could you have this year?
And what game mechanics from the actual show are you going to bring into this event then? Are you going to have the round table? Are you going to have the same game layout as you see on the TV show? What have you picked, and how have you picked those mechanics?
Yeah, we're going to use sort of code-breaking games and things that attribute to World War II or the 1940s, and also that sort of febrile environment of 1940s when the threat of invasion was coming. And after each mission, you will get together and you will vote on who might be a traitor, who might be one of Richard's staff officers who are friendly, the faithful. And also you can buy an immunity card as well if you want to stop in the game type thing. So there's loads of different ways you can enter the game, you can be immersed in the game, and you can do role play, which will be a fantastic. And there's loads of opportunities throughout the evening for you to get involved and really get into those difficult conversations or those slightly offline conversations where you're trying to work out who's who. And what a great way of spending a Saturday night. Friday night.
Friday night. And say like someone gets banished, how do you keep them separate from the rest of the group and kind of possibly ruining the game maybe?
Well, we've got some refreshments upstairs, and they will be involved. And the thing is, once you're voted out, you will go to a separate part of the museum because we've got masses of space, and you'll be able to get yourself a drink from the bar, and also you'll be able to play the mission that everybody else is playing, and also we've got the weapons simulator as well. So everybody will be involved. You won't just be out and that's you for the evening. You'll still be participating. And at the end, everybody will get together and there'll be prize giving for the best person, whether you were ejected or you're still in the game, for your role, for your character, the way you played the game. So there's loads of ways of getting involved, and it goes on for the whole evening, and it'll be really, really fun.
I think that's the thing as well. We don't have the element of the spectatorship that you have watching the Traitors on the telly. So you're going to have to sort of recreate that sort of watching what's going on within the ranks of the participants. I think so. It's different in that respect. I think it's also different in that we're trying to tie as much of this into the premise of a 1940s commanding officer charged with looking after Shropshire and trying to find out who amongst his team are about to stab him in the back. I think we've got to be a little different than the Traitors, otherwise we'll have lawyers down here again.
Yeah. This all sounds like very intricate. You've got like a real plan in place. When did this start being written down, and who wrote the story? I mean, when did it all begin?
Was it sort of like last year?
It was the end. It was literally the last couple of weeks of. Well, they brought it to me. They've been working on it, plotting on it for ages. I think Helena and Nick brought it to me last few weeks of 2025. I think we were talking about this the other day, Nick. It seems to just be the right time for this. I think the appetite for this little bit of espionage, for people to escape a little bit, and of course, this early part of the year when sort of people are licking their wounds from Christmas and the New Year and 2025. I think it's a good time for it. I bit their hands off. They showed me the plans and said, "This is what we'd like to do." I thought this is perfect. It's absolutely brilliant. That we put it before the board of trustees. Every single one, yeah, great. Let's go for it. Let's do it. And I think it's grown and developed since then. And once you've got a green light and you've got volunteers that work really hard on things, I think it actually opens up a lot more creative thought. And Helena, she won't mind me saying, Helena's stuck at home after a little bit of an op.
Get well soon, Helena.
Supposed to be resting up, but I imagine she's concocting and putting together these games. I reckon she's well on it. So yeah, do rest up, Helena. We need you back ASAP, please.
As well, get well soon in the nicest possible way. Yeah, things like this really get the creative juices flowing. I mean, last night I released my first biscuit bites and brews. We're doing like little there's nice little reviews for hospitality around Shrewsbury. I'm not going to charge for it. I'm going to go around and see what it's like going to a pint in this place, go for a bite in this place, and just release a nice video, because I feel like hospitality is struggling right now. I feel like tourist attractions are struggling right now, especially when it comes to like pricing and things like that. I was talking at the Telford Exotic Zoo just a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about how you walk around Paris and you walk around Milan, you walk around these places, and they charge extortionate amounts to go and see these places, but then you realise they have to charge that much to look after the place. I mean, maybe they don't have to charge quite that much. Maybe there's a fine line between what's fair and what isn't. But like, you guys have got a really nice place here that's like set into the history and heritage of Shrewsbury. You maybe not getting the footfall that you deserve, maybe? I mean, how's that?
I think we get, if you look across the rest of the sector, especially heritage and military heritage, I think we do okay. I'd love to have more people through. I really dearly would. I think all heritage sites, and we look to our neighbours over at Ironbridge as well, I think everyone reaches a sort of a zenith of people that have been. And normally, once you've been once, you might take Auntie Ava when she comes to stay, but you don't tend to return. And I think that's a habit of us Brits, is we go somewhere once, we have a nice time, we don't need to go back. And I think our repeat visitors are only a very small number of our normal audience, and that's got to improve. I think people need to. It's not just about going to a visitor attraction once, it's going again and again and again. So us being able to bring something new to every visit and every part of our audience, I think it's really key to us building that. I'd love to have, we could quite easily cope with double the amount of visitors we have right now. We get about 23,000 a year. That's not dreadful for a place that's only really got one full-time member of staff and an incredible team of volunteers helping out. That's the picture across heritage. It really is. Most places are absolutely on a shoestring. So things like marketing, things like doing our own podcasts, if we were going to do that, and we talked about that in the past, haven't we?
We have, yes.
All of these sorts of things are just out of our reach. Whereas if you go to the bigger institutions, the national institutions, the great big museums, they've got teams of people working all over this. Just to bring in a few thousand people here and there for an event, we'd never afford that. So, we appreciate you being here today. We appreciate we get spots on the radio, Shropshire Star, other social media bits and pieces here and there. Every last part of that is absolutely what we need, and that sort of support. And everyone listening to this, please, when we reopen in February, do come along, even if you've been before.
Yeah, please do, yeah. And I can be guilty of that before. I've been shouted at. Was it David Woodhouse? He had to go at me years ago. Rightly so, though. He was like, when's the last time you went to Shrewsbury Museum? And I was like, probably about 12 months ago. He's like, well, you should bloody well go back then, shouldn't you? He's like, you support your local museums. And I was like, I'm going to leave that in the podcast as a message to me and everyone else. We should be supporting these places because they are important. But yeah, you're right. It's when we just had Kalani Ghost Hunter come through Shrewsbury, very famous vlogger. I got a photo with him. It's very off chance I bumped into him. It's very strange. I'm trying to get him on the podcast, by the way, so if anybody knows Kalani, tell him to come on the bloody podcast. I want to speak to him. But you get people like that come in from America, and one little video, one little picture, or one little thing can change everything. If you hit those algorithms right and you get that content moving, it can bring people in. Now, you guys have been very clever on jumping on the Traitors right as it's about to peak. This podcast is going to go out in 2 weeks, right probably towards the middle to tail end of the show that's going on right now, the Traitors, which will hit the algorithms. It'll fly up there and people will be wanting to listen. They'll want to come, and hopefully this event could put the castle on the map, the museum as well.
I really hope so, and that's what we talked about, being repeatable. If it goes well, might try other periods of history, other things represented by us in the museum, and we can tweak it and we can improve it, or we can take bits out. I think if museums, if heritage has that growth mentality, we're going to try something, we're going to risk it. We don't mind failing a bit, improving and trying again. I think that's probably the best thing for the sector. Just give it a go. I'm pleased. It was lovely to think that this was absolutely designed, planned months in advance. I'm pleased that we've actually hit this where we are, maybe a bit more by accident than by design. But it feels to me that it's right. It feels to me it's the right time.
If it works, it works.
Very, very, very grateful to Nick and to Helena for sorting this out.
Yeah, I mean, how much Nick fine tuning with the games, the scripts, the I don't know, the plot of the evening. How much fine tune does it go into writing and making sure it all runs well?
There's quite a lot goes into the sort of production of it, but it's really a handrail because you're interacting with your guests, with people. So we've got the basic handrail of where the events are going to be, and then we're just going to sort of go with it. But you've got to be able to move with the event itself. You can't be too rigid, but we've got a fixed plan. There's 2 mission statements. There's 2 round tables. There's a final vote. There's canapes when you arrive, a glass of bubbly to get you going and get the juices flowing and get everybody a bit relaxed. And then we'll just go straight into it and we'll just get everybody involved. It's a great environment to do that. We can dim the lights. We've got announcements going on. Richard's going to produce the 1940s music. We've got Second World War act.
Yourself? You're going to play that yourself?
I'm going to have to learn very quickly. Yeah. We're working on a playlist. I mean, it is. You know that the main hall here is so echoey, and that the acoustics are really terrible. But actually, you start playing 1940s swing band music in there through any sort of speaker, and it echoes around. It really, really sets the.
It adds to the atmosphere, wouldn't it? Like, especially even if it was a bit echoey, that kind of era of music. Bouncing around that hall, oh my God, that would be silly.
We've got Second World War actors on the gate doing the security when you come in, so you're all checked in as it would be in 1940s. And
Halt, advance one.
Exactly, and then you get your sort of envelope that says what you are, what role you are, and clearly there'll be an email go out beforehand that'll say you need to prepare yourself just in case you are one of the enemy agents or a fifth columnist. And I just think people will immerse themselves really quickly in it, and we'd love you to come along as well and record some of the.
Try and stop me. You're going to need those soldiers if you said no. I'm saying, I think it's a great idea. We'd have to find a way to get me to fit in with the time zone, being a sort of content creator. There must be a way to. I'll definitely come in as a character.
We still got those German uniforms in
there. Lord. Yeah, Lord Ho.
I am refugee. That'd be great. I love this. Have you looked at other events and how they run when it comes to like escape rooms, murder mysteries? Have you seen any of these? How they go ahead?
We've done the research, but we're trying to make this as much unique to Shrewsbury Castle because it's one of those environments that money can't buy. You've got it there. You need to maximise the advantage of the building itself and the environment it creates as you walk in. Imagine walking in to the castle just as it's going dark. We're going to have some red lights there. The castle's lit up in front of you. That starts the event for you, and you can't replicate that anywhere else because it is a unique view. It's a unique environment when you walk into this sort of arena, and then the event flows with that, and it's all shaped around maximising the castle, the museum, and creating everything with a new angle for it, as Richard spoke about, attracting new audiences, making the castle look different, but utilising the main things it's got that make it the unique environment it is.
Brilliant. And which room are you going to keep Claudia Winkleman in?
Well, that's...
Oh, he's learning.
I want to meet her. Can't wait to see her here. She's going to be amazing. It's a nudge, nudge, and a wink, wink there, obviously. When it comes to Shrewsbury, obviously collaboration is really, really important. Have you looked at any local businesses? Maybe there's like Tanner's Wines you can speak to supply wines. Maybe you've got Tap and Can across the way. Maybe they can do something. I mean, maybe there are businesses you can collaborate with.
Yeah, love to. Any collaborations like that, we're very open to. We've had a number of events recently with other charity partners. They've been very, very good at twisting arms. We've also got a good lot of contacts with our trustees. They tend to have lots of interests in other places and wealthy friends. It's always useful. We do have a corporate sponsorship scheme for the museum, but it's tricky to try and sell something that you've never done before. And I know a lot of museums are very, very good. The Natural History Museum, prime example, renamed its Great Hall the Hints Hall and got millions for it. I don't think anyone ever remembers what it was called before that. So all the sensitivities about that sort of thing are long gone. And I think we could be a lot braver about getting local businesses. Any established Shropshire and Shrewsbury business will have had sons, fathers, grandfathers, people that went to war, didn't come back, that their history is here. And it's a great place for them to showcase their place in our heritage.
Just, very keep it classy. You can't have the Just Eat Shrewsbury Castle. Big Just Eat sign.
Yeah, I'll be fine with that.
Gets people in.
It does.
Well, we've got a project we're looking at in November when we're looking to create a similar remembrance wall to what they added to Windsor Castle as well. And we're looking for businesses to get involved.
The poppies cascading down the wall. Yeah,
and then getting communities and schools and educational groups involved to bring their sort of poppy wreaths in and try and make it a sort of 2-week event. Get Shrewsbury College and the arts to do some living sort of theatre as well.
Oh,
and we're looking for real sort of we love real sponsorship with that, especially with sort of scaffolding companies or ground engineering companies.
Because Remembrance Sunday starts from here, doesn't it? It starts from the castle and then it comes back round here and finishes here, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it does. And it always has. And I've always felt that we are quite passive in what we're able to put on for that. But because obviously the focus is the quarry and St Chad's and that element of it and the march and the parade itself. So to be a bigger focus of those, I think we owe it. Really, we really do. And I think being able to do this, you mentioned scaffolders and other funding in kind. And going back to your point about how much heritage costs.
Yeah,
it does. Every last thing costs a fortune for us. Sadly, especially people, staff costs will always be the lion's share of all museums and all heritage's overheads. But try having something go wrong or something leak and getting someone to come and look at it and then repair it, and the bills, it will wipe people out. So you get a lot of commentators talking about money going to different heritage sites, National Trust, all the rest of this sort of stuff. It's because it costs a lot of money, a hell of a lot of money. So touch wood, the IT is working at the minute. The pipes haven't frozen over winter. The roof ain't leaking yet.
Oh, you're tempting fate now, Rick.
I know. But people will know that
we're absolutely fine.
What was that bang? You've seen on your walk up that the parapet walls are being prepared for repair at the moment. And we knew before Christmas that a surveyor looked at them and said they look a bit dodgy. So I know they're working really hard to find a way of making sure they don't fall down, not just to destroy the fabric of the building, but because a 3/4 ton lump of stone landing on someone isn't good for health, is it? So
yeah, it must help as well when you got like Nigel Baker come up and tear up the lawn for archaeological investigations and stuff. That kind of brings the kind of media you need, really, history.
Does,
and
yeah.
That kind of
I haven't seen him for ages, actually. I wonder where he is. I wonder what he's up to.
I got invited to a thing at Attingham Park. They've done some really good archaeological work there, but I was working, I couldn't get involved, so I have to find out what's going on there. I would love to catch up with him. I haven't spoken to him in ages.
He's a good guy.
We have to invite him round. What's your role with the castle? Are you affiliated? Because we've never met before. Are you affiliated with the castle professionally?
No, I'm just a volunteer. I retired from the army in 2023, and
oh wow, how long did you serve?
39 years.
Wow, That's a hell of a career.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time, fantastic time, lifetime experience, been all over, and really enjoyed it. And now, I think as most veterans do, they want to give something. They're inculcated with wanting to give, and they want to give something back to the community. And Shropshire's got a massive ex-forces community, and it's probably one of the highest percentages in the country. And that's where the museum really adds to that heartbeat of the local area as well, because it's something that all veterans like myself can associate with, and it's also it feels familiar to you as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that. It's a military thing, and I guess. I mean, I don't guess. I do want to speak to more veterans, actually. If you're listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast and you got some great, I'm going to go on war story. I mean, war stories are great, but like stories about coming out of the military. Maybe we can do a podcast for 39 years of systemic routine and then coming out to like nothing. I mean, that must be hard.
It does take a while to adjust, and I think all veterans anybody who's served in the forces will say there is an adjustment period, and you need to find a focus. And kindly, Richard enabled me to find a focus down here at the castle. So we do a weapons display during the summer months. Another veteran and myself, we go through all the weapons from the sort of Waterloo to what the British Army uses today, and we also talk about the context of the weapon systems and what era and how they changed the world. Each one changed the world in some way. Each weapon was almost the stealth of its time or the drone of its time, and that's really interesting. And seeing all the different people that come to the castle, it's actually fascinating, really. And I really enjoy talking to people as well. It's great fun.
It's good. Oh, you got an energy about you. I can see it. It's good. Are they musket ball shots in the gate?
They are, yeah. And actually, it was talking of Nigel Baker and Morn Capper as well, who he works with. We did a little bit of investigating those. Or I say we. I stood by and
watched him do their magic.
They got a ballistics expert in. And picture a sort of a slightly medieval weapons ballistics expert, great long straggly haired, big beard, caftan, all that. I might be making some of that
looking like someone from Time Team. I get it. Yeah,
exactly. But he was great, and he sort of said, well, we know when the castle was taken in the Civil War that no shots were fired. They ran at the gates with heavy club hammers and were literally just let in. Don't break anything. All right, we give up, sort of thing. So we couldn't work out at any point in history where there had been muskets and musket shot. We couldn't work out when anyone would have fired at the gates in anger. And all we could come up with was that in front of the gates was like a gatehouse with a bit of a roof on it, and the guards would have stood there with their beers late at night, guarding it, and their muskets. And we think they just had pot shots at the doors. Just like a bit drunk, thought, oh, I'll shoot this or I'll shoot that way. That's the only place. We found big dents in the sandstone on the front part of the castle facing the railway line, and someone had originally thought, oh, these must be small cannon shot. They were almost spherical dents, as if you could have sort of hollowed them out of the stone. But there's nowhere that overlooks the castle, because it's on the high ground, that a shot could have come from. If it had fired up, they'd be a different shape.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So it might just be a quirk of the stonework. So all of these little mysteries, we can romanticize and say, oh, this was when this war happened, or this is when this was attacked. I think it's just quirks and drunk guards.
There's a
sadly, sorry.
When you walk up from the Ark, which is where I've just walked up from, as you look up at the castle on one of the turrets, it looks like there's two people stood on one of the turrets. Always thought there's like some tourist up there, like leaning over or something. I don't know if it's a clever sort of detail put in, almost like the equivalent of leaving the light on. Do you know what I mean? Like there's someone there watching. Like
I've never noticed that.
When you walk, listeners, seriously, try it. When you're walking up from the Ark or the train station up towards the castle, take a look up. And then I think it's the nearest turret. It looks like there's two people stood on the turret. I'll take a picture. I'll put it on Instagram because I'm going back that way home.
Amazing.
It just looks like there's like two soldiers just on watch. Do you know what I mean? And if you're like, trying to get up to no good or whatever, and you're walking around and you see that, you're not going to...
It's like Home Alone, isn't it? They move them once in a while and see if anyone sees.
I don't know if it's like a foreboding shadow from one of the something that's behind it. I don't know if it's a design.
Amazing. Love it.
We'll take it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, going back to the Traitors and the sort of mechanics of the game, do you think it would be an advantage for someone to have seen the Traitors, or do you think someone can come fresh off not having watched an episode and just have fun with this evening?
Is there anybody that hasn't watched an episode of the Traitors? It's an exam question. I think you could come along and just have a great evening. You'd soon get into it. I mean, there'd be enough people around you to understand that, and sort of intrigue and deceit aren't unique to the Traitors. They run throughout history and throughout people's characters anyway. So I just think you'd get involved with it really quickly. You'd soon pick up who you liked and who you didn't like, and that's part of it, really, isn't it? It's that interaction between people, how characters get on. How you view people through that lens of your own experience is going to be fascinating to see.
Yeah, and you'll be using your powers as the Colonel to make sure everybody behaves themselves, I'm sure.
Well, I would suggest they're probably quite fairly limited powers, to be honest. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't mind a bit of dressing up every now and then. Shouldn't admit that on mic, should I? But it is nice to feel like you're a bigger part of something. I didn't serve in the military, but I worked with so many veterans, most of our trustees included. I always felt like I missed out. So even just be able to put a uniform on, you start to grow into the part a little bit.
Yeah.
We got lots of body armour and kit downstairs that we got a couple of years ago for the youngsters to try on and see what it's like to carry the weight. You've only got to put one of those helmets on, and you're immediately, you're dropped into what it might be like to exist as a soldier with that gear on. It really does work.
You're going to be in your element, aren't you? Going back to your days in the army.
Hopefully not too well.
No loud bangs.
Yeah,
it will be really great. And there's sort of another theme around it is that the great World War II films, where Eagles Dare, where all the enemy agents are gathered into one team and put onto one mission. That's another theme that's interacting with this as well. And sort of picking up on Richard's thing there, what we offer as a museum is not only can you see the uniforms and the equipment, you can actually physically touch them or hold them, and that's something you can't do on a video or a YouTube or something like that. You can actually, because each of those uniforms is inculcated with somebody that's served the nation, and it's not just a uniform, it's what it represents, same as the weapon systems, what they represent, that somebody has stood to protect our society using that equipment.
I think we get because I'm starting to do this biscuit bites and brews. I feel like there's something we can do. I've just acquired a GoPro, which is great. We can make content. We can do like regular stuff where you're showing me a weapon, and you're taking me through it. You're doing one of those demonstrations. We can put it on social media. I know you guys are doing your own content.
Yeah, I'd love that. I really would. Nick will play this down, I think, but what he's brought to the weapons demos with John, with his mate, who's an armourer, who's also retired. We've got someone bringing this to our audience from a very technical perspective, which some of our audience love. They love lapping up, and especially youngsters who have played Call of Duty and that sort of thing. They know the weapons better than most, but to have someone that can pick it up, strip it right in front of them and explain why it was like it was from a very technical standpoint, massive, really great for us. And then you've got Nick, who counters all of that with sort of the moral imperative, with the soldier's view, with the training perspective and how that's developed over his 39 years plus. And that brings a lived element that you just can't buy. And it's phenomenal having that as a balance. And again, it's one of those things that sort of developed. We gave it some space, we gave it some oxygen, and it worked. And we've had some fantastic reviews from it, and people absolutely love it. If you're in the museum when we reopen on a Wednesday, these guys will be doing that, and it's free. Once you've paid to get in, it's something we add the value to.
It's part of your admission fee.
Yeah. And we're adding to the weapons. We're adding to the roster of weapons. We're developing a lot more, and John's repairing the ones that we've had in our store that have been damaged over the years or haven't quite arrived with us a little bit damaged. He's repairing the ones so that they're better able to be handled, giving us a bigger range and a better range of stories. We do the same with the kit. We do the same with the helmets. We do the same with the body armor.
I'd love to come along. I wasn't I didn't go to the army. I was with a girl that was kind of like, don't go in the army. But I was like in the cadets for like my whole teenage years. I was in the cadets, and we used to have They used to have the GP rifles, the SA-80s, LSWs, all these kind of weapons. And we used to have like races on how to strip them, put them back together. And I feel like I could definitely like strip and put together a weapon pretty easily. Still, and it's been years and years and years. So like to come and take part in something like that'd be really fun, because it was just part of my youth that I was very, very fond of.
You never forget how to march either.
No, you don't. You don't. This is what I mean about talking about you and coming out of the army after 39 years. It's the systemic routine that it's kind of literally drilled into you, like all of these things. So to come out and then to be like given freedom almost is kind of, I imagine, quite jarring. You know?
It is a real change, because you get so, and also because it's not just a job, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
and it's slightly different when you come out into the civilian world, because in the forces everybody's looking the same way. When you come out into the civilian world, everybody's looking in the directions that they need to be going in, and it is quite daunting for a lot of veterans. Actually, I've had a lot of friends who've sort of helped me through and already been through that journey, so they can give you advice. And one of the best advices I got was to come and work at the museum, which was spot on for me, really. It gets me out of the house, gives me a purpose, and then we come up with things like the Traitors, and suddenly what started off as 1 day a week is now 4-5 days a week.
What I love about this is I can feel the energy that now that this is a thing that is becoming reality, there's ideas for what else can we do, you know? If this goes off, it does not, like, this starts with the Traitors, doesn't end with the Traitors. You can create all sorts of events for this thing. There are so many places around Shropshire now that are doing live immersive events. People can be part of that. Are very, very popular. You're making a very smart move here, I think, with this.
Yeah, like I said, great to have these guys sorting it out, and let's pretend it was my idea. No, I don't need that.
It was his idea.
No, we're working more closely with reenactors. There are some reenactors, Second World War reenactors, that are specifically from our regiments, and we did Ironbridge World War II Festival last year for the first time. And felt a little bit sort of alone, a bit adrift. We got a new branded gazebo, and we sort of stood there and watched. And this year we're going with all of them. We're going to partner up with them, and they can be our sort of living exhibits, doing their promenading and everything else, and feel a much bigger part of it. A museum taking things to a World War II festival as Colston, Newcastle, really is nothing really we can show them that's really special that they haven't already got.
And that's what I was going to ask, is like, what are the challenges of taking a TV concept and putting it into a real life evening event?
I think it's to do with that spectatorship, and that if you're not taking part, or if you're not fully immersed in it, how do you become a bystander? And I think it's all in the gamesmanship, and all in the things that Nick and Helena are cooking up for the challenges, to get people sort of immersed and actually believing. And I think that's the big challenge, and I think that's the bit that they're working really, really hard on. I think if we get this right, or nearly right this time, and we can do it again later in the year, and the more people that come and get involved with it, the better we're going to be able to shape it. And anyone that's listening that thinks, actually, I think I could bring something to this, or I think I've got an idea of how we can do it again. Yeah, we're all ears. All the help, very, very gratefully received.
Yes, and sort of get your tickets now, because we've already sold 50%. So if you're interested,
have you?
Go onto Ticket Source or the website, buy your ticket.
Only 25 tickets left. That's incredible. Wow, that's incredible that you've done that. Does that like add pressure onto you? Oh my God, we're doing it now. We're doing it now. What does that feel like for you? Is that excitement? Is it nerves? Is it anxiety? What was that like?
I think it's excitement.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. When you know you're doing something and you know you're going to hit the right mark, and as Richard said, once you know you're doing it, then all the pressure goes away, because you're just doing it, and it's going to happen.
Yeah. And I was a lot of Nick's sort of military influence on that as well. It chimes very well with myself. Helen has come from a career in operations and solving and fixing stuff. So I think between the three of us, you make that decision that you're going to do it. Nothing's going to stop you doing it, and you learn from it, and you fall down and pick yourself up. I mean, I've got certainly the two volunteers best suited to that, and I'm happy to be influenced and led by them. It's been brilliant.
I'm really excited about this one, selfishly, because I'm thinking now, if I'm going to come along and do content, what's my character going to be? what I'm gonna wear. I'm thinking, how can I fit into this as a content creator of the 40s? I guess it would just be a reporter, right? It would just be like, hey, so what's the big idea? You know,
Bit of a hack.
yeah, that's what I want to play it as. I want to. I don't know if you've seen anything with the Avengers, but the Tony Stark's dad, he's kind of a bit of a loudmouth, bit of an idiot, but he's also very clever. That's kind of how I'd play it. It's kind of like, say all the wrong things, do all the wrong things, but at the same time, let's tell the story. You know?
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Not too many spoilers though.
No. I think what we could do though is create something for YouTube. Create some sort of linear story with it.
Fantastic. We're looking to see this from every angle that we can use it to the benefit of the museum, really. And the more different conduits we can get out there with, the better it is, because it'll be a fantastic event. We've got loads of people getting involved. You know, people like yourself, really enthusiastic, and everybody, as soon as we've mentioned what we're doing, has been really enthusiastic and really bought into it, haven't they, Richard?
It makes a massive difference. It really helps. Yeah, there's some ideas you float with the trustees, and you get a very lukewarm response, and that's probably not a bad litmus test of the scale of some of my ideas. And to be honest, it's always good to have that sounding board. But when they all bite so quickly as they did this time, you think, okay, well, this is really good. And to have their support, you know, we couldn't do it without them. They're like my management team that they're not paid as well.
Where can people read everything they need to know about this event?
It's all on the social media, on Facebook, or I think it's on Instagram as well now. It should be anyway. It's on the website. There's a couple of tabs on the main page. There's a events program on that. All the details are on there. And as time goes on and we get more people signing up, once we put a bit more flesh on the bone of what's going on, we'll be emailing the people that have bought tickets. We'll be putting more posts and teasers out on the social media. We're hoping people will share as well. We'll get a lot more people involved. I think you get a good broad cross-section of people that are Traitors fans or otherwise. I think we're on to a win. And to have sold the tickets we've had sold so far with hardly any real exposure.
I mean, when is the event? It's
13th of March.
13th
Friday the
of March.
13th.
Friday the 13th.
Perfect. That's great.
Also, a big up to Claire. Claire's done an awful lot with supporting us as well. She's been fantastic. So.
She brought you the biscuit, guy. I mean, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I genuinely, I'm flattered by this because I think it's going to be such a great event. It makes sense that I get involved, especially with our history, Richard. We've done lots of work together in the past, and with Claire too, and we can make something really special. But I want to put a plea out here to anybody that's listening to this that, you know, this is an event that's put together to help preserve a very important part of Shropshire's heritage. This isn't a big corporate event to make lots of money to line people's pockets. It's designed to keep the heating on in the castle. So if you're listening to this and you have something that you can give towards this event, you can donate towards this event, whether it's your time, bit of music, whether it's like you have a business and you can incorporate that. If maybe you want to make some merch or something, I don't know, that you can come and sell. If there's a way that you can help this event, Richard's now going to tell you how you can get in touch with the castle and speak to him.
Email is always the very easiest, and we've got a relatively easy, short email, info@soldiersofshropshire.co.uk. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. I tend to pick up my emails at 3 in the morning, 9 in the morning.
You're very good, actually. You are very good at responding.
Yeah. I, apart from when people want something detailed and history-led, I sort of tend to push those to the back. But otherwise, I tend to be quite good at responding to anything that people want to help. I'm straight on it. I'm very, very, very grateful for anyone. Advice, even, you know, people that have done things like this before, or I've got a friend that can help with X or Y. Perfect for us. We've got, we do have a brilliant volunteer team. I will just, pause for a minute to thank all of them. It's not just Nick and Helena. We've got others that do a lot of the behind the scenes work. They do all the stuff that I just wish I had time to do properly. They just take it on and run with it. We've got a couple of other volunteers, Nell and Hannah, who have worked very, very hard to turn around our schools offer that we're redeveloping. And that's, again, Second World War home front themed. And it's one of those things you sort of float an idea and bounce it off a few people. And when you get the sort of volunteers that we get here who are phenomenal and they run with it, it makes such a lot of difference. It makes my life a hell of a lot easier. It makes me look really good.
I love
So
that.
thanks to them, thanks to the whole volunteer team. I'll do that while I'm here as well, because they every single one of them brings something brilliant for us.
Yeah, and I absolutely echo that. You know, for yourself coming out of a long, illustrious career, to give your free time to give something back, it's really nice to offer that to the community, because maybe there are people out there that are misunderstood about the armed forces and about military, and maybe a bit shy, nervous about it, but now you're giving them a hands-on approach to kind of shyly accept these things, learn about these things, and and also maybe see fellow ex-veterans that want to come and just see things that remind them of their past times. It's really nice.
I think it's a very safe environment for that, isn't it? You'd say.
And also we can offer things. Just because you leave the military doesn't mean you take out that military cassette out your head. We can do courses like leadership, teamwork, problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
We can work with youth groups, as the boss is keen to do, as well as you mentioned with the school project. And we've got all that experience of people like myself, people who've served in the military all their lives, and we can transfer that to young people, which is one of the things they're crying out for: the ability to communicate, the ability to lead, the ability to understand the team, the ability to work in the team and lead a team. That's what the military do, whatever the service is, and we've got those skills within this building.
Yeah,
that we can support you with.
Yeah, so that's a really important point. Yeah, museums are probably seen by many as just a sort of a 3D library. Really, it's a sort of stuff with a bit of story behind it. But I think we've always tried to do far more than that. Not just to build our community, but I think also just military museums especially do have a very good sense of a civic duty and something we give back to our society for that. And everyone has some part of their past in here. It's built our society. It's not just dusty old guns and helmets and stuff. There's stories, there's people, there's history, there's that bedrock of heritage that we need.
Well, we all drive over town walls every now and again, don't we? That's all part of the military heritage of this town. It's like that was there for a reason, at some point.
Well, military language comes into our own language, doesn't it? Things like biting the bullet comes from the military, when you're brought into a lead bullet.
Yeah.
The whole nine.
Rendezvous, all these kind of things that were like, there are parts of military functions that do play into a societal role. Yeah, you're right.
Like the whole 9 yards is the length of a Vickers machine gun belt.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
So if you're giving somebody the whole 9 yards, it comes from the First World War, where you were giving somebody the whole machine gun belt, whole 9 yards.
Okay, so okay.
I thought it was a golfing term for some reason. I don't know what.
Yeah, you assume that. There's literally we have now. It's the retail park up at Mill Brace. It's called the whole 9 yards, isn't it now? The 9 yards. Well, it's called the 9 yuds. I think there's one of the lights out at the moment.
Love it. Well, when Nick starts talking about using military language, your heart beats a little bit faster to begin with, because I've heard some of his military language.
Love that. When I go to Chester, there's always kids like marching through Chester in their Roman get-up, shouting Roman military marching songs and stuff. Like, is there not something that you could do there with this?
We are looking into
little musketeers and that.
We're looking into sort of bringing especially young and mounting the guard and teaching them drill and doing
getting marching up and down.
Well, probably inside the courtyard, really, health and safety and all that. But yeah, those type of things. We're very open to do those type of things. Again, Richard's leading us in a new direction now to try and make ourselves as available to as many different parts of our community as we possibly can. So we appeal to more. We're calling it Operation Jericho, where we virtually take the walls down to open ourselves up to people. Of Jericho. But the more we can get involved, and that's definitely Richard's intent for this year, is we reach out and get out to as many different parts of our community as possible. So we've all taken inspiration from that, and that's where we're all taking these ideas, such as the Traitors. It all comes from that one theme.
It's brilliant. I think it's a fantastic idea. Let's recap then. So the Traitors is happening on
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th of March. Age range, what's the limited age? Is it 18, 16, 18?
I guess if we're serving drinks, we should say.
Yeah.
We haven't thought about that. I suppose anyone that's watched the Traitors that think that they can play a part in this. So we're probably talking late teenagers onwards, aren't we?
Yeah.
So 16 upwards.
keep an eye on the licensing
Yep.
laws.
Yeah. And are you looking for individuals, groups of people? I mean, how's it gone with the tickets, you know?
Both. Well, we've got groups. We've got one group that are retirees coming for the leaving do, and we've got individuals and couples coming in. It's an inclusive environment.
Brilliant. And when people turn up, they can expect like a glass of champers and some like
Canapes, Second World War food style, all cooked in that menu of the Second World War, spam and those type of things. It's going to be really, really sort of interactive and to draw people in, as Richard spoke about, get them straight into that environment and then let them have a fantastic experience for this night of the year and just get them involved, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. And we're going to have Richard doing 1940s jazz as people walk in. He's almost slapping it.
Colonel Richard.
Yeah. Colonel Richard with his scat jazz.
and his Mess Webley. The Traitors.
No Claudia Winkleman though, obviously. No, maybe, or maybe, we don't know. If I ask her nicely, she might come.
That would be amazing.
Maybe that's what we should do. My character is just have me walking around in this massive fringe. Oh, but that's really, really fun. So, guys, check out the social media, Soldiers of Shropshire Museum, the Instagram as well. Buy your tickets, and it's on Ticketmaster as well, you said? Yeah?
Ticket Source, I believe. Ticket Source.
Yeah.
Ticket Source.
All the links are on the website and on the social media that take you straight through the page.
I will include a link.
You almost slipped into German.
And I will do a link on the bottom of the readout for this podcast as well. So if we didn't get into any of them, you can use the link at the bottom of this readout. Is there anything that we've missed that we haven't included that you want to say to anybody or about anything?
No, we're looking forward to our season, which starts on 14th of February. At the moment, we're closed while we do all our winter maintenance, touching up the paintwork, cleaning up some of the cases, putting some more displays on, getting ready for all of that. But everyone back on Saturday the 14th of February. And then that leads us into half-term week. We've got reenactors in. We may have some military vehicles. We're hoping to sort of have a good special opening week. And then we're really looking forward to welcome everyone through 2026.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
We've got Armed Forces Day on the 27th of June as well, which would be a great day here as well. And finally, to sort of thanks to all the people like yourselves who've got involved in supporting us, all the media stuff and all the publicity. It's really fantastic because not only is it about the Traitors, it's also, and our event, it's also about the castle and the museum. So thank you very much for coming along and taking the time to listen to us as well.
I appreciate it. And again, I want to end this without saying thank you to Claire Harvey as well, who's put this together. She's orchestrated this podcast, which is brilliant. So there we go. What a great episode that was. Thank you so much, guys, for being great guests and opening up the castle just for me. It's closed at the moment for its winter renovations. They're fixing the roof and all sorts. They're doing some cool things. So I say cool things. Probably very expensive things in the castle to keep it safe and, watertight and all that stuff. So thank you for opening up the castle just for me. If you want to get involved with the Traitors, please be quick because you heard on this episode, they'd already sold half the tickets. So be quick, get involved. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be like a guest. I want to try and sort of create a sort of 40s sort of podcast equivalent. I don't know how we do that. Maybe get an old timey microphone and be like, how do you say? I don't know. So we'll try and I'll be there. I'll try and find a character for myself. It will be fun. So get involved with the Traitors in Shrewsbury. Next week's episode is fun. I'm going to be interviewing Spirograph Girl, Rachel. Honestly, this girl was on the podcast 2019, I think. And she was one of the best guests I had. And then away she went into the world and never came back until next week, that is. So she's coming back to talk about things she's been up to for the past 5 years. You know what? If you've been on the Biscuit before and you want to come back, in fact, there's a couple of people that want to, it's going to be cool. I like keeping in touch with people. I don't do it as often. So this episode is testament to that next week. So you got Spirograph Girl to look forward to next week. I hope you guys are well. I know there's been the tragedy in the fire off Windsor Place, which claimed the life of someone that was well beloved in this town. my condolences goes to the family of the victim. It's very, very sad. And of course, the beautiful historic building damaged, not beyond repair though. And I think there's a crowdfunder going at the moment. But if there's anything that the Shrewsbury Biscuit can do to help out, I don't have the money, but I have a voice, I have resources, friends. Then please get in touch. We like to talk about anything and everything on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I like to try and keep it positive, but these are people's stories. These are the lives of the people in Shrewsbury, and this is what this podcast is here to do. So if there's anything I can do to help, if you know somebody that wants to come on the podcast and talk about things that's going on, I don't know, just get in touch. You know me. I'm a voice for everybody. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, please give us a follow on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Doing a bit more on TikTok at the moment, which is cool. I was kind of neglecting it, which is great. The listener base, the audience listener base, listen to me. The audience is growing on there now, which is very, very good. So give us a follow on TikTok if you're not already. You can also follow me or learn more about me on the website, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. And that is lovingly made for us by our sponsors at Web Orchard. If you need a website for whatever it is you do in the world, they will make the perfect website just for you. And if you do buy a website on Web Orchard just because you listen to me talk about it on the podcast, just let them know. It's an honest, quick quo pro thing going on there. Like, they're really good people. They're great at what they do, and you wouldn't regret it at all. They're fantastic. So anyway, guys, this has been wicked. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us for the next one for Spirograph Girl. You're all wicked. Have a great week. Peace out.
I said I took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrong stuff, but baby, you are the change now.